50% of humans carry Toxoplasma gondii, which may double the risk of schizophrenia. A 2014 study from the University of Prague linked the parasite to altered dopamine levels in infected brains. But you might not even know it's inside your brain, rewriting your instincts, craving danger. Your brain isn't your own, it's a battleground for a microscopic invader that manipulates rodents to seek cats. First identified in 1908, Toxoplasma gondii thrives by hijacking hosts from mice to humans through cat feces or undercooked meat. The parasite's grip begins when it invades the brain, forming cysts that disrupt neurotransmitter function. These cysts target dopamine pathways, a system critical for reward, motivation, and risk assessment. In rodents, this manipulation erases fear of cats, making them more likely to be eaten, ensuring the parasite's life cycle continues. In humans, the effects are subtler but no less profound. A 2015 PLoS ONE study found infected individuals scored higher on traits like rashness and psychoticism, suggesting a link to impulsivity and altered decision-making. The parasite's evolutionary strategy is ruthless. It doesn't just survive, it weaponizes its host's biology. By 1970, scientists had confirmed that infected rodents lost fear of predators, a discovery that shocked the scientific community. But the implications for humans were only beginning to surface. In 2009, a Schizophrenia Bulletin study revealed a 2.5x higher risk of schizophrenia in infected individuals, though causation remains debated. Cultural practices shape infection rates. Southeast Asia and Eastern Europe see higher prevalence due to dietary habits like consuming undercooked meat. Yet the parasite's most chilling power lies in its ability to rewrite neural circuits, turning the brain into a stage for its own survival. The question isn't whether it can take over your mind, it's how deeply it already has. The parasite's grip begins when it invades the brain, forming cysts that disrupt dopamine signaling and alter neurotransmitter function. These cysts, encased in a protective membrane, embed themselves in neural tissue, particularly in regions like the amygdala and prefrontal cortex, areas critical for fear processing and decision-making. By 1970, scientists had confirmed that infected rodents lose fear of predators, a discovery that shocked the scientific community. But the implications for humans were only beginning to surface. In 2009, a Schizophrenia Bulletin study revealed a 2.5x higher risk of schizophrenia in infected individuals, though causation remains debated. Meanwhile, Dr. Jaroslav Flegr's 1990s research in Czech populations uncovered a startling correlation. Infected humans scored higher on traits like impulsivity and lower on conscientiousness, suggesting a link between the parasite's presence and altered personality. The parasite's evolutionary strategy is ruthless. It doesn't just survive, it weaponizes its host's biology. By 1970, scientists had confirmed that infected rodents lose fear of predators, a discovery that shocked the scientific community. But the implications for humans were only beginning to surface. In 2009, a Schizophrenia Bulletin study revealed a 2.5x higher risk of schizophrenia in infected individuals, though causation remains debated. Meanwhile, Dr. Jaroslav Flegr's 1990s research in Czech populations uncovered a startling correlation. Infected humans scored higher on traits like impulsivity and lower on conscientiousness, suggesting a link between the parasite's presence and altered personality. Modern neuroimaging studies, such as those from 2020, have revealed that toxoplasma cysts in the human brain may interfere with the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, a system that regulates stress responses. This disruption could explain why infected individuals exhibit heightened risk-taking behaviors, as the parasite may skew the brain's reward system toward novelty-seeking. Dr. Predation, Paul Simpson's 2000s work further explored how prenatal infection might alter fetal brain development, potentially increasing vulnerability to mental health disorders. Yet critics argue that socioeconomic factors, like access to healthcare or education, may confound these findings. The parasite's influence on human behavior is both subtle and alarming. Studies link infection to heightened impulsivity, with infected individuals more likely to engage in reckless decisions, from driving at high speeds to abandoning long-term goals. A 2015 PLoS ONE study quantified this, revealing infected humans scored significantly higher on traits like rashness and lower on conscientiousness, suggesting a biological shift toward risk-seeking. This aligns with the parasite's manipulation of dopamine pathways, a system critical for reward processing and motivation. In rodents, this rewiring erases fear of predators. In humans, it may skew decision-making toward novelty and danger. The link to schizophrenia is even more provocative. A 2009 Schizophrenia Bulletin study found infected individuals faced a 2.5x higher risk of developing the disorder, though causation remains unproven. Prenatal infection, in particular, may disrupt fetal brain development, increasing vulnerability. However, critics argue that socioeconomic factors, like access to mental health care or education, could confound these results. Dr. Flegr, Paul Simpson's work in the 2000s explored this paradox, noting that while the correlation is strong, the parasite may not act alone. Cultural practices shape infection rates, with Southeast Asia, Eastern Europe, and Latin America reporting the highest prevalence. In these regions, diets rich in undercooked pork and lamb, coupled with high cat ownership, create ideal conditions for transmission. Yet the parasite's grip extends beyond biology. It's a global phenomenon. Public health campaigns now warn against eating raw meat and emphasize gloves when cleaning cat litter, but awareness remains uneven. The debate over causation persists. While the parasite cysts in the brain may alter neurotransmitter function, genetic predispositions or environmental stresses could amplify its effects. Researchers like Dr. Kodym argue that behavioral changes are not universal, varying by individual immunity and lifestyle. This complexity underscores a critical truth. The parasite's influence is not absolute, but its presence in 30–50% of the global population demands urgent scrutiny. The battle for control over the human mind is far from over, and the stakes are higher than ever.